Namaskar. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about RRB Paramedical Nursing Superintendent 29th April 2025 all shift non-technical part question answer. Let's start. The first question: when an object is placed between the pole and the focus of a concave mirror, what is the position of the image? The correct option is option A, behind the mirror. Which of the following pairs correctly list example of Maharatna and Navratna companies in India? The correct option is option A, Maharatna Indian Oil Corporation Limited, Navaratna Bharat Electronics Limited. In 2025, which major technology company announced a 3 billion investment to enhance its cloud and AI infrastructure in India, including plans to train 10 million locals in AI skills by 2030? The correct option is option C, Microsoft. Who among the following was the leader of the Wabi movement in India that started in the first half of the 19th century? The correct option is option C, Shahid Ahmed Barelvi. Which legislation did the Government of India introduce in 2025 to modernize Indian shipping law by replacing the colonial era Indian Bills of Landing Act of 1856? The correct option is option B, the Bills of Lading Bill 2025. Which of the following is not a growth movement in plants? The correct option is option B, plants move their leaves in response to touch. Which of the following is one of the 17 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals? The correct option is option B, zero hunger. A student hits an unknown organic compound and a gas is released. This gas turns lime water milky but does not support combustion. Which of the following is the gas? The correct option is option C, carbon dioxide. The principal axis of a spherical mirror is dash. The correct option is option D, normal to the mirror at its pole. In which of the following Vedas is the phrase Vasudeva Kutumbakam mentioned? The correct option is option B, Atharva Veda. Which of the following fundamental rights provides Indian citizens with the power to approach the Supreme Court of India for the enforcement of their rights? The correct option is option D, right to constitutional remedies. Which of the following gases is produced when coal burns in insufficient oxygen? The correct option is option C, carbon monoxide. Which of the following Indian states are primarily covered by the Great Indian Desert? The correct option is option B, Gujarat and Rajasthan. Which of the following statements is not true about register connected in parallel? The correct option is option D, the current through each register is the same. Which article of the Indian Constitution provides High Court with the power to issue writs for the enforcement of fundamental rights and for any other purpose? The correct option is option A, Article 226. Which of the following is correct regarding the female gamete? The correct option is option D. The female gamete egg cell is large, non-motile and contains stored food. Which acclaimed Indian filmmaker known for pioneering the parallel cinema movement passed away on 23rd December 2024? The correct option is option C, Shyam Benegal. Mithila painting, also known as Madhubani folk art, is traditionally associated with which Indian state? The correct option is option D, Bihar. A concave mirror with a focal length f is cut into two equal halves along the principal axis. What happened to the focal length of each half? The correct option is option B, it remains f. Which of the following factors determines the color of scattered light in the atmosphere according to the Tyndall effect? The correct option is option C, size of the scattering particle. Which of the following statements is true for displacement reactions? The correct option is option B, a more reactive element replaces a less reactive one. Which of the following statements about molecules of element is correct? The correct option is option A. Molecular oxygen and ozone are both molecules of the same element. Where was the 2012 United Nations Climate Change Conference held? The correct option is option D. Doha. Which of the following describes the process by which the concentration of toxic substances such as pesticides increases in organisms at higher levels of the food chain? The correct option is option A, biological magnification. In December 2024, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was honored with Kuwait's highest civilian award. What is the name of the award? The correct option is option A, Order of Mubarak al-Kabir. The semi-cryogenic engine tested by ISRO in 2025 primarily uses which fuel? The correct option is option D, kerosene RP1 and liquid oxygen LOX. Which immediate cause triggered the Sannyasi uprising in Bengal lasting from 1770 to the 1820s? The correct option is option D, restriction imposed by the British on pilgrims visiting holy sites. Under which of the following constitutional amendment were the fundamental duties incorporated into the Indian Constitution? The correct option is option B, 42nd Amendment Act 1976. Which of the following statements is false? The correct option is option B, the resistance of a conductor is independent of its material. Under which Indian government scheme launched in 2000 is additional central assistance given to state for basic services such as primary health, primary education, rural shelter, rural drinking water and rural electrification? The correct option is option D, Pradhan Mantri Gramodaya Yojana PMGY. Which notable water body is located to the south of the Mahanandi Delta on the eastern coastal plains of India? The correct option is option C, Chilka Lake. Which part of the brain controls involuntary actions including blood pressure, salivation and vomiting? The correct option is option C, medulla in the hindbrain. Transfer of pollen occurring in the same flower is known as dash. The correct option is option C, self-pollination. From which Harappa site was the dancing girl, a bronze figurine, discovered? The correct option is option C, Mohenjo-daro. Which branch of the Indian Armed Force participated in the 6th edition of Dharma Guardian? The correct option is option A, Indian Army. Which parliamentary committee reviews report submitted by public undertaking specified in the fourth schedule to the rules of produce and conduct of business in the Lok Sabha of India? The correct option is option A, Committee of Public Undertakings. Which of the following methods is not used to extract metals that are placed in the middle of the reactivity series from their ores? The correct option is option C, heating their sulfide ores directly in the presence of carbon. Which of the following is correct regarding the plant tissue? The correct option is option C, meristematic tissues are responsible for plant growth. Which of the following statements about the human eye is not correct? The correct option is option D. For a young adult with normal vision, the near point is about 20 cm. Select the mismatched pairing between a Himalayan river's system division and its corresponding river. The correct option is option B. Ganga river system, Sutlej. Which of the following is correct regarding the water harvesting is an age-old concept in India? The correct option is option D. Khadins, tanks and nadis in Rajasthan. Match the following materials with their corresponding resistivity value. The correct option is option B. Silver 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 8 ohm meter. Manganese 44 into 10 to the power minus 6 ohm meter. Diamond 10 to the power 12 ohm meter. What was the significance of the British confiscating the land and property of Muslims after the revolt of 1857? The correct option is option B. It was a punitive measure based on the belief that Muslims were largely responsible for the uprising of 1857. Which 2025 book by Arati Kumar Rao documented her journey across India, highlighting the transformation of its place and the impact of its people? The correct option is option D. Margin Land, a journey into India's vanishing landscapes. In which of the following Indian cities is the Qatul Islam Mosque situated? The correct option is option A. Delhi. A person's vision can become blurred over time due to dash deflect in the eye. The correct option is option A. Refractive. A student dissolved equal amount of the following salts in water and measured their pH value. Salt X, sodium chloride, NaCl. Salt Y, sodium acetate, CH3, COONA. Which of the following option correctly matches the nature of the solution formed? The correct option is option B. X neutral, Y basic. Where was Aero India 2025 held? The correct option is option A. Yelahanka Air Force Station, Bengaluru. As of 2024, which landmark infrastructure project of India is recognized as the world's longest highway tunnel above 10,000 feet? The correct option is option C. Atal Tunnel. Which of the following responsibilities is not assigned to the Union Public Service Commission (UPSC) as per the Constitution of India? The correct option is option D. Administering disciplinary actions against appointed civil servants. Who became the Chief Minister of Delhi after the 2025 Legislative Assembly election? The correct option is option C. Rekha Gupta. Which of the following is not correct regarding vacuoles? The correct option is option D. Vacuoles are small sized in plant cells while they are very large in animal cells. On which of the following rivers in the Tehri Dam constructed? The correct option is Option A. River Bhagirathi. Sperm formation requires a lower temperature than the normal body temperature. For this reason, the testes are located in the dash. The correct option is option C. Scrotum. Which of the following observations from Rutherford's gold foil experiment provided direct evidence for the existence of a dense atomic nucleus? The correct option is option C. A very small fraction of alpha particles rebounded, deflected by 180 degrees. Which constitutional body is responsible for auditing the amount of the union and state government in India? The correct option is option B. Comptroller and Auditor General of India. Which of the following unsaturated hydrocarbons contains a triple bond? The correct option is option A. Ethine. Which of the following statements about the Kyoto Protocol's enforcement in 2005 is true? The correct option is option C. It legally bound developed countries to reduce emissions. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.